Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Plannercraft this morning. My name's Ian and I'll be doing the feed this morning, and today I am showing you a different way of creating an embossed image using your ScanNCut and a die cutting machine. Natalie's here doing comments, so if you do have any questions or anything, please pop them in the comments.
I'll be monitoring to the best of my ability.
Yeah, and Nat will be keeping an eye on that for us. So hopefully she'll see the comments.
Yeah, I'm shrinking my screen so I can do both at the same time. I'm multitasking.
Okay. Who do we have in this morning? So
far we have Pat, Tracy, Mum, Sarah Lou, and Carol's just joined.
And Carol's just joined as well. Good morning all. It's easy to go to the list. So Natalie's already we've already set up some patterns on the ScanNCut, ready to start cutting. Where are my little samples gone?
I was going to say, you had them there the other day. They've kind of gone that far. That's what you get when you put everything else into the project.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't need it.
I don't need it. What's that?
Sarah Lou says morning, Natalie, Ian, Tracy, Christina, Carol, and anyone I forgot.
So, without further ado, I'll start and I'll transfer over to the ScanNCut screen for you so you can see what we've done on the machine and what we're going to be cutting out. So I'll swap over. So, on the machine I can get a pattern and I can pull it down from the internet because obviously I've got some designs. So hopefully you can see I've got 3 patterns on there. The one I've already cut ready because it was quite intricate and I was worried that it wouldn't work on stream.
Just because we know what it's like.
Just because it's my stream and yeah. Yes, we all know what those are like. So I've done those already, but the one I'm going to show you how I set up is the perfume bottles here. So I'm going to delete the other 2 out and then we'll set up that one. So we're going to go into our canvas and we're going to delete that one at the bottom and delete that one at the top, and I'm going to duplicate it. So into here, increase my number to 2, press OK. And these don't have to line up, they don't have to be exact, they are just purely so it cuts it out twice. I'm going to go OK. OK. And cut. It's only going to take 2 minutes, which isn't bad for me. It's usually when I cut things out on this thing it takes like an hour. That's why I've done some of them a bit earlier previously. So the idea of cutting it twice is so that you have a built-up layer, and the advantage of doing it this way is that then you can take virtually any design off your ScanNCut and able to then emboss it on a piece of card afterwards. So the card I'm using is 210 GSM. It's a sheet of Hobbycraft card. It's not expensive card, it's a pack of their bulk pack, cheap stuff. It's not expensive card, it's not. Certainly haven't paid a lot for it. It is out of our stash, but it's not paid a lot for it. I'm just going to clean my blade out because I've been cutting this morning and it's full of bits of paper. Just adjust that one.
Yeah, but just the tiniest piece is enough to upset it.
It is. So I'm setting my blade to 5 because I know that cuts this card beautifully. My pressure is still on -8, I haven't changed that yet, so which is crazy. So we're going to cut these out.
but
Okay, that's cut my fold out. I'm just going to check to make sure it's cut. It has. That's cool, so I can swap back to the overhead cam. So, you can see it's cut out all my bits. Just use my spatula to get underneath. I'm going to keep this by me for a moment because looking at this, suddenly realise it's cut all the bits out of the middle as well. Just so I know where the bits have come from. This is going to be a fun one to do, isn't it?
you could just leave them more solid though if you wanted to, because the really fine detail won't show up that much. You'll only get like a little.
Yeah. That's the plan, is to use the...
Or what you could do, here's the easy way. Put the card back into the ScanNCut. 2 rectangles round, so you've got one round each negative, and do it that way. That way you haven't got to worry about piecing it all just for stream, and then we can do it the other way around off stream, so you can have the detailed one as well. So save all your pieces.
Yeah.
And just do the 2 outside ones.
Do the 2 outside.
And I'll do the fiddly one off stream because I can see Ian's going, oh no. So obviously, with this technique you can make it as intricate or as easy as you want it. So if you just want to use a bunch of circles, as long as you cut the same circles twice, you have your amount of depth that you need to have those kind of going for a nice bubbly background. You can almost do like a 3D effect as well, so that you've got some layers that are 2, some layers that are 1. I mean, the most we did was 5, wasn't it? But that started to actually crack your paper, so 5's a little extreme. And you can use text for this technique.
I will try and find my text because it's cool.
I think it's more so because of time, Carol, rather than not doing intricate.
I have done an intricate one to show you.
Yeah.
But it's already been cut because it took 11 minutes to cut it out, so I've already done that off stream.
Yeah.
And I will still glue it all into picture. I'm just taking the bits off me mat.
Yeah, so when you get your Artie Sticks mats, they do come with a little sheet of instructions that tell you how to look after your mat. The most important thing to remember is to not ever use a baby wipe on it, because that will actually dissolve the adhesive on the mat. There are a few other pointers, so if you do eventually start to have mat loading issues, just because it's the DX and it does have mat loading issues, how to fix them. Hence we have a nail file that's kept on the desk.
It's actually a fault with the machine though, isn't it? Because it does it to the brother ones as well.
Yeah, it does it to the brother ones as well, so it's not that it's an issue with the mats, it's the actual loading mechanism on the DXs bit. But if you have the new Disney machine, it has an updated loading mechanism, so what we tend to say to people at the moment is if you're going to upgrade to a DX, go to the Disney one. Even if you never use the Disney files on it. There is supposed to be a new machine coming out this year, which is the ScanNCut Pro, I believe it's called in the States. I don't know what it will be called over here, or when it will get here.
Right, so back to the machine. Let me know first. I don't know what I might do.
Hi Trish.
Let's start a fresh page because
Just bring in one, resize it and put two, after you've got it resized correctly.
So doing a background scan so I can see all my missing shapes.
I believe Carol with an E is watching. I have to be specific now, don't I? But unfortunately he hasn't said that you popped up, so I can see that you've given it a thumbs up. So thank you for liking the video. And please do like and share the videos.
What's the question?
It's okay, I'll answer separately on text.
Okay.
Actually, I'll speak to her after. It's okay. I can do it on stream.
Okay, so I'm just going to cut my squares around these, that's naturally requested. Ahead.
Hello Elizabeth.
Didn't say hello to thingy's mine, did you?
To thingy?
Cows.
Oh, sorry Lily Grace, I've forgotten you, haven't I? Tell me off.
Okay, so we have our 2.
Mind you, 4 out of 5 I don't think it's bad going for me at the moment. Especially yesterday, because I had a headache yesterday. Again. Must go to Specsavers.
When it's safe. So, as you can see, we have to realign that just slightly because they weren't tightened. Placement.
Line them up and then trim them, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's going to do. So I've got some good old sticks to. We're not going to need all of that. It will give me the wiggle room to move it around. And you see I'm just lining it up so it matches on all fronts. And sticking it in. Just trim these two edges off.
See that I must have known
What's that?
Lily is not watching today.
Who's not watching?
Lily.
Is she not?
No.
Oh.
I must have known. You see, you were sending me vibes, Carol. I'm
First seeing me
psychic,
go wrong.
really.
Next we're going to use our embossing machine, which we've got set over here. It's our Gemini Junior that we have from Crafters Company, but any embossing or die cutting machine will do. And we're going to set up our plates for die cutting, or for embossing, sorry. So we have our base plate for this one, our plastic shim, and then we're going to put our design we want to emboss, minus the bit of card on the side bit on that. Our sheet of card to emboss. And then we have a rubber mat, so it gives you the protection. And we put our plate on top. Textured. Maybe I need a little bit.
Oh, okay. There you go. Wonderful.
So, are you afraid that it's not going to work?
No. No, we're teasing Carol for a change.
Yeah, there we go. So, as you can see, we have a lovely, and that's worked really well actually. Ah.
Even got it more or less square.
I did. So, I don't know if you can see that, but it has lovely embossed it on there, and we have the debossed on the other side. So, even on that side, it's nicely.
Yeah, you can choose which side you want to.
Or on this side, it's nicely raised and embossed. And as I said, the advantage of this is that you can do pretty much any pattern that you can cut on your ScanNCut. So that's that one done.
And if you want to, you can then use that particular style of embossing folder as a stencil. So if you want to do like your ink blending over the top, just to kind of pick up the perfume bottles, you can do.
Let's put that to one side for a moment. Where can I put that for a second? So, one of the questions we had about it was, well, we decided to ask ourselves was, how intricate could you go? So, in our wisdom, we've cut this one out.
Well, the first intricate one we did was text, wasn't it? Because It all started because I looked at a card and thought, wouldn't that be cool if you could just change the words on it? So, yeah, that's what started it all off. So it's all my fault.
And I went, yeah, you could, you just need to do this with it. I went, yeah, that'll never work. And then, yeah, apparently it does. So I'm just going to glue this up so they stick together again. It works better with 2 sheets rather than just one. I did try it with just one. It does emboss with just one, but it's not as clear an emboss. So this is a tried and errored sort of system that we've tested out.
Gonna have to start storing that bottle upside down till we refill it.
Yeah, we need a better pin system than these staples because it's making it all gunky inside.
Yeah.
Don't know if you saw on the last one, but the first 15-20 dots that came out were lovely rust coloured.
Lovely.
So make sure you get your design the right way up.
It doesn't really show that they're rust coloured after on the video.
That's good. And I'm going to stick that down. And I've only done around the outside edge of this one because it's going to squish it when it goes into the machine anyway.
This is another one of those where you could use your adhesive sheet onto your card before cutting it, just to make your life a little easier. Especially if it's one that you're going to use a lot. So one of the ones I sent in to cut was a card background with an aperture in the middle. So that one's probably going to be one that's going to be used quite a lot.
Okay. Another top tip, if you're struggling to get your alignment right, which I did on some of them when they get a bit more intricate, I found to do the sandwich the reverse way around. So put your rubber mat down first, then you sheet your card onto your rubber mat, then place your design, then your plastic, and then your base plate. And the reason you do it that way is then when you pick it up it doesn't move.
That's weird, Carol. I can see the comment on the video. No. I can see a comment on the video and I can't see it in the chat.
It doesn't always come up. So.
That's weird.
So again, we're going to put that through. Coming to you, dear.
There we go.
Thank you. So when we take this off, get it out of the way. You can always tell it's worked because your bit of card sticks beautifully. So that's our original, and then that's our emboss pattern on the top. And then we have the deboss on the other side as well. You can see that clearly.
Oh, you can.
That was that one. So the last one that we did is this one. So I've got to cut another one out because I only cut one at the moment. So I'll cut another one of those out quickly.
Yeah, so in terms of your layers with the technique, if you want something that's got nice soft edges, just do 1 or 2 layers. If you want something that has really crisp, punchy edges, go for 3 to 4. 5 was a bridge too far. And actually embossed into the embossing mat. So if you look closely at the embossing mat, it's got this lovely V.
Cover up on that. So you can see this is the same piece of card that I cut the last one out of because it's already got the hole in it. So I'll load on that and take my blade out to load on that. Let's go home to get rid of my pattern.
Who's doing an angry face?
That wrong button.
is it if you do that it goes a bit mad?
Don't know.
Because it does it on Pete's videos too. If I do like a little heart or something, it goes a bit loopy.
Yeah. Well, maybe the post later will sort that out.
Yeah.
So we're going to pull our patterns back down off the internet, and we're going to delete the two that I'm not using.
Do you want to just switch back to the close-up view?
Oh, sorry, did I not do it?
No.
Sorry, there we go.
Can't see.
I swap back.
Ooh. That is a jolly good question, Tracy. I think that might be one for some of the materials that we're looking at next week. About creating our own moulds with the perfume bottles, so that you could do like resin or air dried clay, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You could certainly use air dried clay in the card, but if you wanted to do something like resin or something that's kind of wettish, like glue, you're probably needing to look more at the plastics. So we've got a few interesting bits to cut next week that we could try and see if that might be an idea.
Okay, are we ready?
Okay. Go for it.
If there's any questions whilst this is cutting, please do ask, and Nat will do her best to answer. It's going to be a bit of shout for Natty, because obviously she'll shout over the machine.
Most of the time I've been typing them. It's easier. Leslie's back today, so we need to do yeah. Got me wondering though, if we've got some like silicone sheet where you can actually make your own silicone mould. So you cut one layer out of like the silicone, then layer it up onto another layer of the silicone that's not cut. Where you can create your own thin embellishments then. Had like the kitchen protector sheet, like we used to have on the desk, the minty one, and cut that out because that's only about 2 mil thick. Okay, the perfume bottles are one of the new designs on Canvas Workspace, so you can get those and play with those right now. And the two backgrounds that Ian's cut today are actually from Birds Crafts. So they were also free designs, so I believe you should be able to get hold of them still. But you could just as easily design your own. There's nothing special about the designs themselves to use this technique, so it's still just a normal standard cut.
Okay, let's finish cutting. Swap back to the other camera. Stay out of the way. Yeah. There you go, you see that's gone there. Done that. So we have our to. So I'll stick those together. I'll clean my mat in a bit.
Yeah, we've been saving the little circles, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we can put them onto the card bases that we've then embossed.
I'll show you that for a second. You can keep those bits on too. So again, just going to stick these together quickly.
You can actually emboss vellum. The only thing I'd say is with vellum I'd just stick to the one layer rather than two, just to prevent any cracking. It would make a great shaker card.
This one.
Yeah. There's lots of fun things. I also like doing like the rain effect cards as well. Yes, the spatula is a cricket one. We prefer to use that one because of the metal tip rather than the plastic one of the rubber, which just tends to damage your card on the edges. So metal ones are better so that you can get underneath the card. But you don't have to go for an expensive brand. I just happen to have that one from way back when we had crickets. I still have my old cricket machine. And a gypsy. That's a point, that's in the...
Okay.
Yeah. I might do a stream with the gypsy next week. You never know.
Here's my piece of card. So again, I'll go and do this the wrong way up for the sandwich. So I'm going to put my sheet down first.
Right, a rain effect card is where instead of just leaving your shaker elements loose in your window, you can actually use little seed beads onto clear thread or gut, and then they slide up and down the gut so it looks like it's raining. So it's a much neater way of doing a shaker card. So if, like me, you tend to be a bit candid and you end up decorating your desk instead of the card, it's actually much more controllable. A gypsy is a little gadget that connects to your cricket so that you can design with your cartridges on the go. So it's really funky. So rather than, let's say your card design uses 3 different files from 3 different cartridges, rather than having to change cartridge, you can just do it all on your little gypsy, connect it, and off you go and cut it all at once. Okay. It is a cool gadget. It's really, really upsetting that they don't still support it. Because if we could have something like that for the ScanNCut, that'd be absolutely fantastic.
It's called Canvas.
Yeah, but there isn't even an app for the iPad for the ScanNCut. Yes, okay, you can use Canvas on mine, but with the Gypsy, it just feels so much more like you're actually designing rather than, I don't know, I just always feel that step removed when I'm using Canvas.
I like that.
That is cool.
There you go. And again,
So you can just trim right up to the edge with that one.
yeah, trim that one down, and then you've still got your new die, if you like, which you can use over and over again.
Yeah, handy for wedding invitations, this technique.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost you a lot of money. So particularly if you're doing your wedding on a budget, you cut it once and you can just keep going and going and going. That'll be so much quicker than trying to get your ScanNCut to cut it all out.
Yeah, so there's our 3 that we've done today. Our 3 dies.
Do you want to see if you can find the other one? So because they're doing the text.
The hello.
Yeah. So we'll try and find the hello so that you can have a look at that one too, because that one works slightly differently. So when you're working with text, each letter becomes its own separate shape. So whereas the one that In has done today is very much separate and kind of self-contained, when you do text you have to do it slightly differently. So, you want to show the embossing folder first?
Yeah. Let's put that over there. So this is the embossing folder. So as you can see. What?
Carol says, we've had half an hour and not had to take the mickey out of you yet. What's wrong with you? You're no fun this morning.
Give it time, Carol. It's only... Yeah, cool, blimey, I've done well today. Yeah. There you go. So that's our hello. And it is raised slightly. It's only 2 sheets of hello stuck together, but each letter had to be cut individually. And then I used the original outcut file just to place them so it stayed straight. So like the bottles here with the perfume bottles, no doubt Natalie will use that as a template to line up her perfume bottles when she's ready to line them back up.
Yeah, and I will do it for you so that you can see it later on screen.
And this is what it looks like when it embosses.
So if you imagine that you've done that with love or the couple's names.
The only thing I'll say is it doesn't quite work so well with the deboss because it's back to front.
Yeah, so you've got to decide which way around you're going to do it. So if you want it to deboss, all you've got to do is cut it backwards.
Yeah, and then
so just do a flip as if you're doing HTB.
And then you could have it debossed on the other side.
And that's the same with any sort of directional design.
And that works just as well.
So there you go. A nice, cheap, cost-effective way to create your own embossing folders. And at the end of the day, if you decide you don't want it anymore, you can recycle it. So it's not like we're flooding the planet with plastic.
No, and not only that, you could do so much more with these. I mean, you can, like Nat said, you can use them for stencils. They're twice as thick as your card. Ink over them. And the advantage if you ink over them, once they're dry, you can still run it through your probably die cutting machine, not get any ink transfer because it would.
Yeah, because it would
dry
just
into the paper, absorb into the paper. So you have that.
The only thing that you can't do with it that I like to do a lot is letterpress. So you'd struggle to letterpress with it, just because it's card. So if you wanted to do letterpress, you could probably do the same technique out of acetate and do it that way. Thank you, Linda. Linda says it's a great technique.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's great. And so, like I said, we're all about, in these times, it's not best product to be spending £20-30 on a die for something that you'll use maybe once or twice, at least even if you only use it once or twice.
Oh, Carol says, what is letterpress?
That's another stream all by itself.
Yeah. Yeah. So letterpress you do with a traditional embossing folder and an ink pad, basically, and then run it through.
Thank you all very much. I hope you've enjoyed that and it's been educational. If not quite as entertaining as usual for me. So,
because it didn't go wrong for a change.
Didn't go wrong for a change. And that's it for me really. And that's back at 2 o'clock. We have.
There is one thing you haven't said. That you don't have to use a ScanNCut.
Oh no, you could die cut something and.
Yeah, you could do die cutting. You could use it on your old style Cricut. So if you want to use your cartridges, you can do.
It's only a digital cutter, isn't it? It's not, but it's just the idea that you could. I mean, if you cut something out by hand, if you double it up and run it through a die cutter, you'd have the same effect. So you don't have to use it.
Yeah, it's a bit more difficult to do it perfectly in line though.
Yes, but
if you're particularly skilled with a knife. Yeah. So carry on. Sorry for interrupting.
So, as I was saying, that's back at 2 o'clock today with a Your Vote Counts, and we are doing a MDF jewellery box which we're making from scratch. So we will be gluing it, putting it together, and then decorating it for Your Vote Counts, but using your ideas and suggestions, your votes on things that we suggest. You have Lee with us at 12 o'clock today. We have Pete at 12:30. Watch Pete today because he has a giveaway which he's giving away a ScanNCut.
No, that's the competition.
No, it's a competition, but it's still
yeah.
part. He's
So
announcing
watch
it today,
for the competition.
so watch for the competition. So it's definitely well worth a watch. We have Leslie from Chocolate Baroque is back today at 1:30.
Yep, and she's doing a craft along, and I believe it's scrapbooking. I believe.
Okay.
I'm sure I
She's
saw
not
12 by
starting-
12 mentioned.
Is it still one of?
I believe it's
so
still
she's normally
1:30.
She normally starts a little bit
No,
earlier.
1:15.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, yep. It's 1:15 because she's doing a craft along, so she just started that little bit earlier, so she doesn't overrun with us, bless her. Which we always appreciate.
Yes, for which
Yes.
we are very grateful, Leslie, if you're watching.
And then, as I said, we're back at 2, and then don't forget, first thing in the morning, you have Barbara doing a doodle.
Oh, Carol says, have we had any ideas on the new competition?
Not yet. We're still working on that one, so I will.
We'll probably announce something this afternoon. And
Yes, we'll have a think this afternoon.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we have our course tomorrow and Sunday. It's
So-
the weekend, isn't it?
Yep.
Um,
So if you are interested in joining in with that one, it's £30 and it will be hosted here on Facebook in a private group.
but it's Saturday and Sunday, so there's 2 days.
Yeah,
Half
both
9
mornings,
till
so you've got
half
plenty
1,
of time to...
12, sorry. It was only 1:30 last time because we went over like an hour and a bit. But we are doing a layered shadow box with some funky bits.
Yep.
So if you are interested, there's an event up on the Clamcraft group. You can have a look, and there's details in there to pay as well if you want to. So thank you all very much, and we will see you back at 2 o'clock.
Take care for now. Bye.